Hello and happy Friday. Raulf here. I'm the founder and chief visionary officer at Boulder SEO Marketing. I'm also an AI SEO expert. Super excited to have with me today our COO, Daniel Burns. Daniel, how are you?
I'm doing good, Had a little scare on Tuesday, but I'm back to 100% today, so glad to be back.
Yeah, so that being said, Daniel was supposed to be part of our AI SEO webinar that was hosted on Wednesday. I took over his part and I presented our new BSM Copilot methodology. So that's why I have Daniel in this Friday SEO tip. Super exciting. So we're doing more and more with AI. We're now capable of using AI to do a lot of things that we've been doing manually in the not so distant past. So what I presented in the webinar, I'd quickly like to share my screen and show you what is possible. And then Daniel, I'll have you show our audience our new BSM Copilot methodology and what we're launching next week. So let me quickly share my screen here, entire screen share. All right, so I'm going to do an incognito Google search for SEO price guide, one of our target SEO keywords, a keyword that we want to rank at the top in Google and in these AI overviews. As you can see here, this is a guide that we launched or relaunched just about over a week ago. SEO costs in 2026, price guide for local businesses. Guess what? We work with a lot of local service businesses. All right. So this guide ranks at the very top in Google, is cited in these AI overviews. Guess what? This guide, entirely written by AI, by virtual Chris. This is something that Daniel's going to show you here in a second. So if you've read about Google's guidelines on how to use or not to use AI, this is the way on how to use AI, right? So I believe we have figured it out how to use AI for many of the tasks that we do as part of a engagement with our clients. We test everything on our own website first. So things are changing. AI is extremely powerful if you use it the right way. So I'm going to have Daniel walk through our updated BSM Copilot methodology. And I definitely want to bring to your attention, this is the link to the webinar recording that we hosted on Wednesday. Lot of interest in this webinar. I think we had over 600 people signed up. So I'm going to put the link to the recording right below in the description field of the YouTube video. And then make sure to join us on December 9th for our AI, SEO, and GEO online summit, where we have some of the top experts in the industry talk about AI, SEO, and generative engine optimization, including Daniel will provide a deep dive of our methodology. Basically, what you're giving a little teaser right now. So I'm going to stop sharing. With that being said, Daniel, briefly introduce yourself and then let's get into it.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Daniel Burns, CEO here, and the big responsibility that I have at Boulder SEO Marketing, in addition to working very closely with clients to create a strategy that makes sense, is implementing AI workflows and strategies into our process. So essentially, Chris is the visionary of the company. He's going out there and understanding how and what is the best usage of AI. And then my job is essentially to get that vision and put it into a process, a repeatable process that our team can do for our clients that allows us to implement this work in the most efficient way. So with that being said, there's a lot to talk about, but like Chris said, I'm just going to do essentially a teaser so you know what it is that we are doing and then what we're about to implement with our team. So, one of the things that Chris said is that AI is done well when AI works really well when AI is used correctly. So, before we had BSM Copilot, we used to have some really good prompts and we used to do prompting management and putting things in there and so forth. And that was essentially before AI was really implemented as part of the big process of what we've done. What you're looking at here today is what we call BSM Copilot version 1, right? And I think for the past 12 months, for the past year almost, we've been working with this version of Copilot. And this is a Copilot that has been very powerful and it's been producing a lot of the content that we've done for our clients that have been ranking extremely well. But recently, we just finished working on what we call BSM Copilot version 2, which is extremely, extremely interesting. And the reason it's interesting is because number one, over these past few months, so many updates have happened with AI models and the agents and the prompting and the ability that we have to do more with AI. So just to give you a kind of a brief overview of the big two things that we're going to be working on implementing with the team. The first one is part of BSM Copilot is making sure that we build a custom agent for our clients. We now have essentially a custom agent version 2. It's a lot more powerful and it's a lot smarter. We're putting a lot more information in there, training it in a way that it becomes a lot smarter. But number two, there's a great memory system in there. So the more that this agent is used and the more feedback that we give it, the smarter it becomes over time. And we've been getting some great reviews um, from our clients that the feedback and the voice that comes back from these client agents is amazing. And one of the things that we do with this initial agent is we create, which we didn't have before, these modules which you see on the right. We create these foundational documents. There are the expert profile module, business entity module, buyer persona modules, brand messaging guide modules, and these are essential directives for the AI when we're doing things to make sure that it's really, really being done in the voice and vision and the communication style of the client, right?
And
These
then
are very,
Daniel,
yeah.
sorry, just quickly interrupt. So basically, custom client agent, that is basically a replication of a real person that, one of our clients, or in my case, virtual Chris, right? I do a lot of speaking engagements. I speak all over the world about AI, SEO, and generative engine optimization. So when I speak somewhere, we grab the transcript of what I discuss. It's like net new content and we feed it into virtual Chris. Believe me, my wife is not super happy about it, but this thing is very, very, very knowledgeable about what I do work-wise. So this is basically what a custom client agent is. Sorry, Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's it. And then what it allows us to do is if Chris was, for example, one of our clients, we would be using this custom Chris, digital Chris, to create a lot of the communication and the content and the strategy. And it allows us to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So when we produce content and give content for Chris to read, 90% of it is done, right? Chris goes through it, edits it, looks at it, but it allows us to do a lot more in a much shorter period of time. So that's one of the things that's working tremendously well. And during the summit, I'm going to go into a lot more detail on how we create and show some examples. But now the most important, exciting, the initial slide that I showed you was our Copilot version 1. This is essentially our Copilot version 2. And without going into a lot more detail, you see that there's a lot more going on in here. The really exciting part of this is that we're putting in a lot more intelligence into the process. We're putting a lot more research into the process, a lot more context. The actual BSM Copilot engine is a lot smarter, which is working with that custom client agent, which is again a lot smarter and more powerful. And then the deliverables that we're creating are a lot better than what they used to be. One of the things is we're able to do a lot more And we're even able to do that in a much shorter period of time. So this methodology allows us to do more work, better work, so you're getting more for less, right? This is a snapshot of what we consider, the source content creation process, essentially getting our micro strategy content of getting an existing low hanging fruit page on the website and making it the best page on the internet. And then the other flow that we're really excited about is what we call the source content creation process. This is where we're getting transcripts of a podcast or a webinar or a YouTube video, and we put that through our process, again, really well thought out, and it creates amazing web content with a lot of different assets that are ranked extremely well. So this is just a little preview of what we as a team are actually implementing this week. By middle of next week, we're actually going to be implementing this for all of our clients. And during the online summit that's going to happen in December, I'm going to go into a lot more detail how all of this works. And at that time, also be able to answer any questions that you guys have.
Right, awesome. Cool. So we're excited for next week's online summit, again, December 9. The link is right below in the description field of this YouTube video. We're going to host this online summit on a regular basis. So it's an evergreen link. Bookmark it, get on our list. Daniel, I'm super excited for next week for the full walkthrough. As always, stay safe and healthy, and we'll talk to you next time. Raulf here, founder of Boulder SEO Marketing, AI SEO expert, with me, Daniel Burns, our COO. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye bye.